Hello and welcome back to Seaside Garage. In the previous 2cv video, I pretty much got the interior sorted on this lovely white 2cv and fitted this wonderful, whatever it's called, the color, minty green colored roof on it. I think it looks really nice. I still need to do some minor stuff to that and fit the boot and so on. But in this video, I would like to tackle the mechanical stuff that still needs fixing. It's a long story with this car, but everything has been fixed pretty much. But a lot of stuff have not been tightened up, fitted right, fittings that needs to be fitted and so on. And also I want to change the exhaust system because it's not that great on it. To get to the exhaust without breaking my back, I'm going to remove the wings just to make it a lot easier to work on it. Pretty often I get asked about what's the best classic car that is cheap to run, easy to work on, and not too expensive to buy. And pretty much always I say 2cv. They are starting to be quite expensive, but you can still get them fairly cheap. You can get all parts for them. Everything is easy to do on them pretty much. I think this is the most practical old school classic car. I think nothing beats a 2cv. There is of course the Diane, which is pretty much the same, and the Mahari of course, but 2cv is just in a different league. The Diane is more complicated to work on at the front end. It's more complicated to take apart the bodywork to get to the engine, for instance. The same thing applies to the Mahari. The 2cv is just the best of the bunch if you want something simple. Almost whatever happens, it's easy to fix on a 2cv. It's just the best classic for daily use, I think. So just to give an example, this was around 5 minutes of work. Now I have this much access. It's just that easy. I think removing the engine maybe would take probably an hour from here, and not more than that. It's just so basic and so simple to work on, and it's lovely. So I want to change the exhaust from up here and all the way back. This one is all right, but the owner wants a brand new system. So I'm gonna do that. And then the front part of the exhaust is attached right down there on each side, attached to the gearbox. There we go. That part of the exhaust I never really had to change, so I'm actually unsure if I can remove it without lifting up the car. It almost feels like it needs to come up and out. I really hope that's not the case. No, if I lift it up, I think it will come out. There we go. And I'm just gonna go straight in there with a new exhaust. So before fitting the clamps and so on, I need to do some stuff in here while there is space. One thing is I need to route this brake line so it doesn't rub against stuff. That's one thing. Another thing is, as mentioned, this has been restored, this car, just not finished. I don't know which nuts has been tightened and which are still loose. So I'm just checking everything. And for instance, this one is the handbrake mechanism. It's not bolted to the chassis currently. That needs to be done. More serious is down here. This is the steering column. There's supposed to be a clip or a clamp around here, clamping the steering wheel to the actual rack down here. It's missing. This means in theory that you could just pull hard in the steering wheel and it would fall off, which would probably be a bad experience in a 2cv or any car for that matter. So I need to find that clip and install it. Luckily, everything is pretty organized. So in this box, there's a couple of these. There's a lot of parts. Some of them are replaced with new parts, so I cannot just assume that every nut and piece is going to be used. For instance, the knife points are installed, so he bought new ones. But here is the clamp. This needs to be installed with a bolt going through. I need to remove the steering wheel or pull it up so I can fit it, and then pull a bolt through. But yeah, that's one of the more important bits, I would say. And I can pull it all the way up like this, and then put the clamp on. Like that. There we go. And then I want to fit that handbrake mechanism. So next up, I need to fit something between this, the handbrake mechanism, and the actual handbrake arm that goes into the cabin. And the part between those points are missing. I can't find it anywhere. The lucky thing is I have something to look at least. This is from the Mahari project. It's just a piece of metal. It's pretty simple. But the thing is, this exhaust that I'm installing right now is the Walker kind or brand. It uses thicker piping and the radius bend is different. That means that the handbrake arm is resting against the piping, and that's not good, and it's not supposed to be like that. The way to remedy that is to make this 1 centimeter shorter and then adjust the cables accordingly. The travel on the handbrake will be slightly less, but it won't matter anyway. So I'm just going to make another one of these 1 centimeter shorter than this, and then that should be solved. Okay, so I just learned something new. This is from the Mahari project. They are supposed to be 192 millimeters. This is only around 140. So the Mahari ones are apparently shorter, so I can't even use this, but it's the same principle. But it just needs to make I just need to make this one into the correct size, which is 192 if it wasn't for that Walker. And with the Walker, it will be 182. What's the odds of this? It's exactly the length of the piece of scrap metal that I just found, so that's great. I just need to make some holes on both sides, and then it's good to go. Then I'm just going to clean this up a bit and give it some paint so it doesn't look too rusty. Here it is, and I think I spent an hour looking for the original one because then I could just shorten that up. But this took 5 minutes to make, so it was a waste of time. And when I was done with this, the other one turned up, of course. So this is the original one. This is the new one I made. As you can see, 1 centimeter shorter. Let's go and fit it. With that one installed, the handbrake is now slightly engaged, and I need to remedy that by loosening up the cables so they are not that tight. The handbrake might need some adjustment. Oh, did it fall into the cooling duct? Nope. As I was saying, the handbrake might need some adjustment, but I'm gonna do that later on when everything else is fixed. There we go, and I'm gonna do the same on the others. Then I just need to do the same on the other side, and the handbrake should be sorted. With that part of it done, I can continue to fit the exhaust down there. Just loosely, and then install the silencer that goes underneath here. I had to make a do-it-yourself exhaust mount for this. It was missing, but other than that, I think I'm ready to install it. Oh, wait a second, this is wrong. Actually, the rubber goes around this, or otherwise it will hang all way too low. It's been so long since I fitted an exhaust to a 2CV. So I'm just gonna redo that. Some minor adjustments are still needed on the exhaust, but it's now fitted. The handbrake is fitted and working. There's just a lot of loose ends like these on this car because there's so much stuff that's not been fitted right, or fitted loosely. That's the challenge when taking over on a unfinished project. But luckily, it's not the first time I worked on a 2CV. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.